Hello, this is Frontline here, and welcome to the first episode of Mastercraft. In this series, we are going to become Minecraft experts, or masters, as the series would actually be the title of. We are going to become Minecraft masters and create various different projects all around this brand new amplified terrain world. I really like the style of amplified terrain, even though this part right here is very flat. Really, when you come down to it, there are a bunch of mountainous structures that this game produces that just are stunning. So today we are going to be working on an iron farm. In the last episode, or the 0th episode as it really was, because it was an unofficial episode where I showed what kinds of things I've been up to in this world before the first episode. So for this first episode, we are going to be working on the iron farm that I built over in that direction, and beautify it and make it actually functional so we can do a bunch of other projects. So let's get started. This right here is the iron farm. It is floating in midair and doesn't really have much variation to how it's built. I built it mainly out of spruce because spruce is just an easy material that you can get the trees really large and chop them down easily. And that's the reason why I have a bunch of spruce wood here too. And we are going to build pillars to make this thing not look like it's floating anymore. We are going to actually make it so that this thing goes into the ocean, it goes all the way down to the bottom, and makes it look hopefully better. The resources I have on me make it so that the design we're going for has blocks of redstone implemented into the build, and we're going to add iron trapdoors to the side, and I'll show you what I'm talking about once we build one of these things. You know, I was just building the pillar behind me, and then I saw this right here, and honestly, I'm not even sure if I get into the boat, if it'll explode and kill me, or I honestly don't know how this works. I'm kind of afraid to go up there. I'll save disabled just in case anything terrible happens. Oh, honestly, kind of what I expected. It was in the water, and that was an interesting experience. Maybe I should actually light this place up or sleep a little bit. The first pillar is now built, and honestly I think that we need some sort of other support structure up there, because the staircase things look a little bit out of place. But honestly, I kind of like the design of this with the different iron doors, and I have redstone blocks in here if you're wondering exactly how it's powered. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to have for all of these. But the problem is I actually don't have enough iron for this many trapdoors. These trapdoors actually take a lot more iron than I thought they did. So I only had enough for this, and the rest we're just going to have to build after this iron farm starts kicking into action and producing more iron than it has already. So in the meantime, what are we going to do when these pillars cannot be constructed right now? Well, we are going to solve a main problem that I've had with these iron farms in the past. I mean, I've only had one iron farm, but the main problem that I have always had is that these villagers, that are in these little tiny boxes, you can see them on the side, there are about either 2 or 3 villagers in each of those containers, and I want to see if they're all right, maybe even have a little station to trade with them. And the only way I am able to do that in the past is just pile up a bunch of blocks, or maybe even use this ladder and just break open the blocks and see if they're there. And even then it's just this whole entire thing that's really annoying to do. So what we are going to do is, instead of having to pile up blocks, we're going to create a built-in ring to this thing. It's going to stretch all the way across. I'm going to use an online generator to make a perfect circle around here, and we're just going to have paths leading directly to each of these stations whenever we want to look at them. And I think that'll look pretty good. We'll see how it looks when I start building though. Now we have a little bit of progress made. I have a quarter of the circle done. I actually messed up a little bit here, so I had to rebuild parts of it. Hopefully that won't happen again. But yeah, it'll probably happen again. So I'm going to have to just keep on going, and hopefully I'll be able to show you when we get halfway and when the circle is done. And just like that, we are halfway there. Honestly, this time I actually kept trying to track what blocks I placed down, so didn't mess up. We're actually halfway there, and now we can actually finish off the circle, and hopefully it'll look good because I'm not sure how much the stone bricks will compare to the rest of the build. Heck, andesite probably would have been a better choice, but at the same time, I don't have much of that. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see this. Alright, so we are almost done. I can see the end in sight. Let's hope that this is aligned properly. So we should be able to go 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We go another 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this should be 5, and then we'll reach the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. We got all done. We're going to build up these platforms and make this whole entire thing thicker, and then we'll be able to see it from the bottom and make sure it actually looks good. Otherwise it'd be kind of... Actually, we should maybe make sure it looks good before we start building this thing up. I only just connected that in my mind. It's like we'd have to break down the entire thing otherwise. You know what? It doesn't really look bad. Apparently I fell off the ledge there. But anyway, I don't think it looks bad. It's like the only thing I can say is that maybe we'll change the top from andesite to stone bricks. But at the same time, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like stone bricks better or if I like andesite better. Because the problem with andesite is that it's really... I mean, it's not hard to get. It's just that I don't have much of it. I have to like mine the sides of mountains and go on to many different expeditions for that. But yeah, I feel like we're just going to stick with stone bricks because we have a bunch of stone and stuff. And maybe in the future we'll change it, but right now I'm not ready to commit to changing it. So yeah, we'll stick with that. Whoa, man, I was just like mining, and it's like, I got diamonds, but yeah, I was about to say it's like in this clip that I changed my mind. I am like getting some andesite, and apparently I am rewarded for my fruits by this, man. I was not trying to get diamonds, but you know, this is an added benefit of using andesite, I guess. The good thing about changing my mind to do andesite is that you can kind of tell which is the actual original circle and which are the blocks that you're using to extend it out. So, I mean, andesite and stone bricks are very similar, but it makes it so that it's a lot easier to see, and that's the one thing I enjoy about this. It's like, doing a different block the first time actually may not have been the worst thing to do in this kind of situation. I was originally going to have the whole entire pathway laying around to just be pure andesite, but I'm thinking that this idea I have right here might work better. That like having a little bit down the middle actually isn't a bad thing. It's like, it's obviously not going to be stone bricks because I think it would look messy that way. It's like the andesite and stone bricks look very similar. So that wouldn't work, but having it be the spruce wood that I'm going on here is still a block we're using in our palette, and yeah, I think that'll be very interesting to build all the way around. Pardon the torches, but I will put glowstone there eventually, and this place will actually be lit up without these weird particle effects. So right now, this place looks awesome. I think that honestly, the inclusion of the spruce planks actually makes this thing look a ton better than it would have been if it was just a flat plane. But now we need to make sure that this thing can actually work properly and not have to worry about being here and monitoring all the time. Because if you haven't noticed, this giant andesite thing actually has a purpose. So inside of these things, you know, there's the villagers there in here. See, in this one I think there's 2, yeah. So you're able to trade with them if you really feel like it. But the whole entire idea of having this up here is that when lightning strikes, these guys are far away from it. We don't want lightning to strike anywhere near these guys. Even if they can see daylight, if they can't, whatever the case may be, we don't want these guys to get hit, because if villagers are hit by lightning, they get turned into witches. And this platform has actually caused a problem in that if lightning strikes right here, and these guys can see daylight, even though there's like blocks above them, technically they can still see daylight. So really, if lightning strikes right here, then these guys will be turned into witches, and that's not what we want. So what we need to do is create a roof over this entire ring and make it so that when lightning strikes, it won't be near those guys. Man, the symmetry of this image is so great. It's like, it's so satisfying to see both villagers just standing off at each other like this, both staring at the same position. The torches are down the middle. I've got different structures here. But anyway, I'm kind of getting off track here. Right now, I have come up with a solution to a problem that I thought is pretty clever. So right here, I honestly like the idea of these platforms just being free hanging and not having a roof above them. So really, when it came down to it, the roof for the lightning strikes was an afterthought. I actually was realizing, oh wait a minute, I can't have these things open, which is kind of a shame. But then I was thinking, how about we only have the protection roofs right here? Like right here, you can see this will end up being a tunnel that leads into this larger room here where you can look at the villagers, make sure that they're all there, none of them despawned. This one actually is kind of annoying because they actually bred. This is supposed to have 3 villagers in it, and yet two of these guys decided they wanted to make a 4th. But you know what? That's their business. So this solution I think is better. I'm able to have a nice little narrow hallway that goes down, and these little sections are just in-betweens that you're able to hop around on and get to these places. And if you're wondering where the other guy went, yeah, there he is. These guys have a tendency to converge on each other a lot. I don't know how or why, but yeah, that's that thing. I will go ahead and build these roofs now, and I'll see you next clip. I got a little sidetracked in that last clip, and after I recorded that, I actually went to do other things as well. So right here, you can see that the different pillars go all the way down on all sides. I haven't built up the parts that have the iron yet, but that is one thing I did in the last clip. It's like AFK'd here for a little bit to get more iron. We have a lot of poppies, by the way. I'm going to have to sort that out in the next episode, but yeah, up here I have also worked on the roofs, and the roofs seem like they are pretty good. I added a nice little stripe going down here to match the floor and make it look more coherent. So over here are the Siamese villagers that we all know and love, and yeah, I've done this on all sides, made it so that if lightning ever strikes, they should be far enough away. And yeah, I'll probably just back up this world in case they turn into witches, but it's very unlikely given the circumstances I provided. Everything's lit up. It's like, even if like zombies spawn somewhere around here, I feel like they can't reach the villagers here anyway, so that should not be a problem. Any problem that I'm seeing is fixed by other different things I've done. I got lightning, got the zombie protection, and yeah, all of that. One thing also that I almost forgot that I did in the last clip is made this little border down here. You can see that it looks a lot nicer. I've also kind of made a mistake in that some borders I actually had an andesite pillar going up, but in reality, this is what they're all going to look like. It's like if I built this andesite in the background, you would never be able to see the andesite. So I decided against that, just built the pillars to remind myself that yes, most of this is going to get covered up by this nice little thing right here. I just have one of those moments where it's like I completely forgot what I was doing, and I thought that putting glass down here would be a really good idea, but then I remembered that literally one of the purposes of having it like this is so that I can also trade with them when I feel like it. I mean, none of these villagers are good villagers in like many respects, but if I really felt like I could actually like go up to them and it's like, oh yeah, maybe I want him to cook my fish. I swear the fishermen don't really seem that appealing to me. But yeah, it's like I just brought like different types of glass, being like, hey, let's try these out and see how they look. And I had to break them because I remembered I'm not using glass. I don't need to use glass. Why did I bring glass? Back to the familiar place, aren't we? Again, it's like these guys stare off all the time, and I love recording here. It's like it's more like the ladder conveniences right here. I always come right on up, and they're always right here, and they're always interesting. So anyway, I'm rambling. Right now, we have two different types of banners. We have 2s and 3s. The 2s are going to go in these places, like here, where there's, two villagers. This is just to signify that, yes, there are supposed to be 2 here. If you count less than 2, then something went terribly wrong. And if there's more than 2, well, I'm not sure what to say. It's like, it would be like this situation right here, because I'm going to put down 3 banners, but at the same time, there's 4 people in here. It's like, I'm going to have to get rid of one of these people, but, Anyway, it's like, right now, I am kind of running out of time for this episode, so this is going to be the last thing we do, and in the next episode, we're going to continue working on this farm, and hopefully get it done. So, we're going to probably be able to work on the underside. You've seen this episode, so if you didn't notice, down there is pretty much the collection area for our iron, and that's not what we want. We don't want to just like be here AFK all the time, have our little derpy ladder that goes upward and makes the whole entire place look very unprofessional. It's like, I want this to be a much more simpler and streamlined process. Hey look, more iron's coming in. Anyway, so we are going to probably use some redstone, make a sorting system, make it so that all the poppies automatically get sorted out and we only see the chest full of iron. So anyway, that's for the next episode. We'll also do some other various projects, because honestly that shouldn't take very long. But anyway, that has been it from me. So if you like the video, like it, share, and do all that kind of stuff. It really helps the channel out a lot. But for now, I will see you next time. Goodbye.